We all might have heard Zika virus cases being reported in Kerala in previous week. They are single-stranded RNA virus belonging to the Flavoviridae family. Viruses other than Zika virus belonging to Flavoviridae family include yellow fever virus, chikungunya virus, etc. Let us see the history of Zika virus first. They were initially isolated in 1947 in rhesus monkey in Uganda. Then the first human infection occurred in 1952 in Uganda and Tanzania. Then in Brazil in April 2015, several cases of Zika virus has occurred, and during that infection, increased incidence of microcephaly is reported. Let us see how the Zika virus is transmitted. The principal mode of transmission is by the mosquito bite. Mosquito belonging to the Aedes species, Aedes aegypti, Aedes albopictus, Aedes henseli, etc. This Aedes aegypti, Aedes albopictus, etc. also transmit chikungunya, dengue virus, etc. Then one case of needle stick injury reported in a research laboratory. Then it can be transmitted by the transfusion transmitted infection. So the Food Drug Administration and American Association Blood Bank recommended nucleic acid amplification screening of blood donors as well as pathogen inactivation techniques such as UV light and detergent treatment of the blood products. Then in 2008, multiple reports of sexual transmission has been reported. The Zika RNA can be detected in blood and semen for at least 6 months. So after the onset of symptoms or after the last exposure, they should avoid sexual contact at least for 6 months. Then regarding the symptoms include fever, headache, retroorbital pain, myalgia or muscle pain, arthralgia or joint pain, etc. These symptoms like fever, muscle pain or myalgia, joint pain or arthralgia, headache, retroorbital pain, etc. also similar to dengue virus and chikungunya virus infection. More specific symptoms include edema of the extremities and the rash and conjunctivitis, maculopapular rash and conjunctivitis, more commonly seen in Zika virus infection rather than in dengue and chikungunya virus infection. Most infections are mild or asymptomatic only. Incubation period is 2 to 10 days after the bite of infected mosquito. Then if the infection occurs especially in the first trimester of pregnancy, there is increased risk of 1 to 13% risk of microcephaly. This Zika virus has a tropism for neural progenitor tissue. So Zika virus has got a tropism for neural progenitor tissue, and this can lead to neuronal degeneration and cell death. So this can lead to microcephaly. If infection occurs in a pregnant woman, it is also associated with increased incidence of ocular cataract, auditory impairment, etc. also. So it is dangerous in pregnant women, especially in the first trimester. So if there is Zika virus infection established in pregnant women, there should be fetal ultrasound every 3 to 4 weeks to check microcephaly. Then regarding the testing strategy, the Zika RNA can be tested by nucleic acid amplification testing or RT-PCR. This RT-PCR testing for RNA should be done within 14 days of symptom onset. Because of the short viremia of the Zika virus, after 14 days, the RT-PCR test may be negative. If presenting after 14 days of symptom onset, antibody testing is recommended. Zika IgM antibody capture enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Zika virus RNA can be tested by RT-PCR if presenting within 14 days. In the serum and urine we can test. If after 14 days, we use the antibody assay, IgM, Zika virus IgM antibody capture enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Because of cross reactivity with other flavivirus such as yellow fever, false positive result can sometimes come in IgM antibody capture enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So to confirm the result of IgM antibody capture enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, we use plaque reduction neutralization assay. This plaque reduction neutralization assay detects specific neutralizing antibody. It measures Zika virus specific neutralizing antibody titer. Then regarding the treatment, rest and fluids are the main treatment. Most infections are mild only. They are treated with rest and fluids. If we use aspirin, NSAID or acetaminophen, we should also rule out dengue virus infection. So if it is dengue, there is risk of hemorrhage if we start these treatments. Then avoid mosquito exposure to prevent the transmission of the infection. That is all about Zika virus. Thank you.